perfect for a flying honeymoon, they said. Come fly with me, let's fly, let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away.
Starting in tomorrow's Mail on Sunday.
Luscious.
15 tempting new recipes from Nigella, plus up to £6 off a selection of wines to match.
Crab linguine. Sticky spare ribs. My slow roast lemon and garlic chicken.
Forever Nigella, starting tomorrow.
Can't we just have fish fingers?
Only in the Mail on Sunday.
I have a vision.
Young. Reckless.
Hello.
Insane. All that's best in American independent film.
Power to the people who punish bad cinema!
American Mavericks, featuring 8 UK TV premieres, including Requiem for a Dream.
It's a reason to smile.
Get all 4 Film 4 channels now. Call free on 0800 44 1234 or click on film4.com.
1937 was a year in which writing the wrong kind of music could cost you your life.
The revolutions that changed the course of music.
To the musical establishment, Wagner was a nutter.
From the epic opera that became Hitler's soundtrack to the bogus myths surrounding a genius.
But there's one aspect of Mozart's modern image that is desperately wrong, and that's the idea that he was some sort of giggling cretin, the brain of Einstein trapped in the body of Norman wisdom.
Covering 4 centuries and 4 monumental musical events. A new series from award-winning Howard Goodall. Great Dates starts Sunday at 8 on 4.
Action film drama tonight at 9:15 when Demi Moore proves herself as G.I. Jane. That's in 55 minutes. First on 4, the story of a man who's not particularly religious but is willing to move heaven and earth to walk again by chasing a miracle. Witness contains scenes of faith healing and operations which some viewers might find upsetting.
I was just climbing a tree and I was about 50 feet up and the branch broke. I remember falling through the branches, breaking them as I fell. I must have been paralysed instantly. Well, of course, at the beginning, I couldn't believe it. Thought it was all still a dream. But, of course, it's all true.
I was 14 years old when I broke my back. The doctor said there was no cure. I was paralysed. Their only advice that I prepare for life in a wheelchair and forget about walking. But medical scientists were more optimistic. 6 months after the accident, I took part in a research project to get me walking again. The scientists said they were 10 years away from finding a cure, at the most. They were wrong. "19 years on, I'm still paralysed. I've given up on science. Now I'm in search of a miracle." Travelling with me is my pal Will. We were heading for the remote village of Garabandal in northern Spain.
I see where we are. Okay.
Wow, look at it.
Will will keep me focused if I should start to doubt that miracles really can happen.
Village, Andy. Sorry, dude.
Garbandal is renowned for the apparitions of the Virgin Mary and the promise of a great miracle, a mass healing of the sick. Maybe today will be the day. Will and I battled our way up to the spot where the Virgin Mary is said to have appeared. Garbandal was very difficult terrain for me. Even with Will's help, it took nearly 2 hours to get to the top. On foot, it would have taken 20 minutes. If God wanted to see my commitment for getting a miracle, he could hardly have picked a better place.
I'm sure one doesn't have to be religious to appreciate a place like this. I'm not a very religious person, but this is certainly a very special place, and I can feel that.
I waited for 2 hours, but no apparition and no miracle. But back down in the village, a very unusual visitor had arrived. Reverend Manuel Villarreal and his followers were visiting Garbandal from Texas. They were all here on a pilgrimage, and like me, were seeking some kind of healing. This was by far the most bizarre healing I'd ever seen, but I was willing to give it a try. When Reverend Manuel laid his healing hands on me, unlike the others, I didn't have any inclination to pass out or fall over. I just felt his hands on my head. Although I hadn't keeled over, the Reverend told me the healing process had begun, and he promised I would feel the healing powers of Jesus overnight. I was to come back and see him again the following morning. The next day, the Reverend felt enough healing had taken place to get me on my feet. He said all I needed was a tiny bit of faith and I'd be cured. For a short while I was standing. I really tried to believe that I might even walk. But soon my legs gave up and I was back in the chair. It's not unusual for me to get muscle spasms in my legs strong enough to stand. This must have been what was going on here, not divine intervention. I would just have to search elsewhere for the miracle, but I left Garbandal with something to think about.
The girl was chatting to Andy and said, gee, the amount of suffering that you must have gone through, Andy, I'd change places with you like that. And I don't think Andy had ever heard that.
I'd never heard anything like it. I was really taken back. She thought I was very fortunate, and she said, something to think about. If you're looking for a miracle, what if you get it? Do you really want it? I am earning my place in heaven because I am suffering, because good will come of my suffering for other people.
With no miracle in Spain, we're better to take my search than my birthplace, Kerala, South India. India is renowned for its gurus, but the man we are going to see is renowned as a god. We're on our way to Puttaparthi, home of Satya Sai Baba, famous all over India and across the world for the miracles he performs.
optimistic about going to see Sai Baba?
Yeah, of course I am. There's a few days away yet till we're going to get there, but yeah, I am optimistic about Sai Baba. If there's going to be a miracle in India, it's going to happen from Sai Baba. Even my consultant surgeon has seen Sai Baba and says that he's a miraculous man and does miracles all the time. So when your doctor says that to you, you think, well, there must be something in it. Your doctor who refused to be filmed.
Yeah, he didn't want to go on camera saying that he believes in a guy in India who can do miracles. I suppose you can see where he's coming from. He lives in Britain.
Fair enough.
On our way to Puttaparthi, we stopped at my old home, a tea plantation 5,000 feet up in the high range. My father had come out here in 1949. I was born here. This is where I learned to walk.
Very strange. I think when I lived here, wasn't any wheelchair, you know, no problems. Life of variety, really. There aren't many places that I can go now. Last time I was there, I was walking. It feels quite strange. It does feel pretty weird.
On this journey, Will has been key to making my life a little easier, and some of the impossible possible. But being in a wheelchair always has limitations.
This is a prime example of the kind of frustration that I get all the time. The car is empty. All the others have got out of the car to go and take a shot of a very nice river with lots of mist coming off it. Looks fantastic. But I'm sitting here because it's just quicker for them to get out and get the shot than it is to get the wheelchair out and for me to get out and go and look at it.
It's just beautiful, Andy. It's just magical. Hollywood would pay millions for an effect like that.
So beautiful.
I feel dangerous.
Manjo was not the only driver on the extraordinary Indian roads feeling dangerous.
Man, look at that load.
It would take us 8 hours of terrifying driving to reach Puttaparthi, home of Satya Sai Baba. I knew Swami, the master, was big here. I just hadn't realised how big.
It's phenomenal. I thought it was going to be like a dirty old camp with tents and stuff. Satya Sai Baba Institute of Medical Sciences. It's Satya Sai Baba Airport. What can this guy do? I mean, he must be able to do some amazing stuff. Or people would just say he was just full of it and not bother.
The 75-year-old Satya Sai Baba claims that Buddha, Christ, Muhammad and others had some divine powers, but his power is infinite.
First impressions, mate?
Gobsmacked. It's like thousands of people wandering around, just kind of staring into space, just looking like they've just dropped their lives and come to live a life somewhere else. Whoa. It's very bizarre.
What can I say? I've been here so long. There's a lot of power to discover, and the true nature of humans, and so that good can rule over evil. You know, because that's the basic law of nature.
Travelling to the hotel, we passed Sai Baba's ashram. Would this be the place I would walk again? The owner of the hotel was such a devout Sai Baba follower. She had turned the hotel lobby into a Baba shrine.
When you go through a penance for 19 years, then, God answers something for you. So this is your time. Your time has come. You're not here without a reason. Please believe me when I say that. Swami has called you all here. For whatever the reason, maybe he's due to do this filming, maybe you're here as a friend, you are here for something else. But Swami has definitely called all of you here, including your friend there. You think he came here to escort you? No. Swami has called him here. So, Andy, just believe it. He's going to make you get out of the chair. Okay. Shake my hand. You have the faith. You're going to walk. Next time you come, no wheelchair. You'll be running around Sai Plaza.
Jay Shri had said exactly what I wanted to hear. But by the next morning, I was beginning to have my doubts.
You weren't listening to JC last night thinking she was a lunatic?
No, I wasn't, and I was actually believing all the stuff she said. But she's not here now, she's gone. And my struggle this morning started before I went to bed.
Yeah, but how does that affect what she said?
So I'm back in my own life. I can be here in Sai Baba's camp.
But why don't you take some of what she said on board, and that changes your life?
I do take it on board, but it lasts 5 minutes.
Why?
You've got to understand how long I've been struggling with this. I think all the time. My mind's always going, even just going down the road. I'm thinking, right, I've got to think about the wheelchair all the time. Like, what path am I going to take so I don't hit a pothole? What curb can I get up? I can't get up that bit, it's too high, I've got to go over
but
there.
There are people in wheelchairs who probably say, God will guide me. Seriously.
If I went along the road saying God will guide me and fall flat on my face.
Yeah, because you haven't got the faith. These people out here believe in God. They believe.
I'm trying to take it on. I'm really trying to. And when I talk to someone that's very spiritual and they've got all of this, I listen, and I actually really believe a lot of what they say to me. And then when they go away, and I just carry on with my life, I lose it. And all I want is just to find something stronger. But I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody that I'm feeling so spiritual and I found God and all this stuff when I'm not. And I'm still on my own, spiritually.
The next day, Will and I headed for our first experience of Sai Baba. Cameras aren't allowed into the ashram. Today was a big event on the Sai Baba calendar. Around 100,000 faithful had flocked to Puttaparthi to see him perform a miracle. When Baba walked into the ashram, it was like God had entered the room. Baba walked around on a red carpet. A team of sweepers worked in front of him. But apparently we would have to wait until the evening session to see the big man perform his miracle.
I just want to see something. Maybe I just spend more time in there. I'll see something. I'll see someone experience some kind of total realization or joy or something. Black and white. I just wanted to go in there. I want him to come up to me and just do that and say, yeah, you'll see the light, mate. And yeah, that's what I want.
The evening session and Baba's miracle. I saw the light all right.
I've just come out of the ashram there. I've been in there for about 5 hours. It was all very peaceful. And this is when Baba is going to do a miracle. The crowd all stand up and start to surge forward towards him. I can't see anything anymore. I can't see Baba. So I surge forward with the rest of them. I could almost see Baba. I was almost at the front of the queue when security men surrounded me told me to go back because I was a patient. I had to go back. I said, I'm not your patient. I'm just going to stay. I'm fine here. I'm not causing any problem. One guy put his foot against the front of the chair and started pushing me backwards. I then whacked the chair against him and just said, look, just don't do that. Another one grabbed my arm. Another one grabbed my other arm. One had my shoulders like that. And they pushed me as fast as they could through the crowd, backwards, forwards. I was punching them and yelling at them. I don't want to come here again. I'm not interested in Baba. I'm not interested in any of it. It's a complete load of bollocks.
Starting in tomorrow's Mail on Sunday.
Luscious.
15 tempting new recipes from Nigella, plus up to £6 off a selection of wines to match.
Crab linguine. Sticky spare ribs. My slow roast lemon and garlic chicken.
Forever Nigella, starting tomorrow.
Can't we just have fish fingers?
Only in the Mail on Sunday.
My birthplace had failed to deliver a miracle. Will wanted me to try some ancient healing in his homeland, the Aboriginal way.
There's going to be some pretty unusual healing going on.
There was something about catching lizards.
No, not lizards, mate. Goannas.
I think he just doesn't want to tell me what I'm in for.
Whatever I was in for, after my Baba experience, some personal healing based on ancient beliefs was just what I needed to get my focus back on finding a miracle.
I know that any healing I get is going to be completely legit.
Of course.
You know, it's not about one great person who believes they are God or they are in touch with God and they're going to act as the tool between God and me because they are so great.
Miracles here come from the heart. They don't come from the dollar.
We drove into the Warrumbungles region of New South Wales. Here we were to meet Brad, an Aboriginal park ranger from the Koori tribe. He would take us to a sacred site where the healing would take place.
It's an awesome rock, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, Anne, it's part of the creation story with the Warrumbungles. And our creator, you have, well, some people have got a fella called Jesus Christ. Our fellow's called Bayami.
Right.
Bayami. And Bayami created the natural features. He created the trees, the bushes, the animals. And this is one of his creations representing phallic symbols. Penises, some out on the knobs, some around on this side, some on this side. The more you look at it, you'll see more of them. And it's just penises, it's phallic symbols and how they're associated with our creation stories. And that's no bull. I'm feeding it. Millions and millions of years ago.
So what are the female versions?
Well, we don't know that because that's women's business. Yeah. We don't visit those sites. We don't get told those stories because it's women's business.
I see.
And this is men's business. But women shouldn't be walking in that area.
Brad's words rang in our ears. All of our crew were men, apart from one. Kiara was suddenly taken sick.
Yeah, Brad seems to know a fair bit about these things. He thinks it was a redback. So, a redback's quite a venomous spider out here.
The potential seriousness of the redback bite meant Kiara was rushed to hospital. Suddenly the wind around the ranger station picked up. Even I felt the atmosphere had changed. Maureen, an Aboriginal elder, explained how the crow's presence was very symbolic.
They're listening in, they're trying to listen in on what's happening.
Here, be honest.
They're like, see this
Andy
fella?
up on the tree.
He was there, right up there. There was another one as well. They're like the old Aboriginal traditional people who are listening in to see what's happening, whether everything will go all right or not.
So you really see that up there in the tree is an Aboriginal elder?
They're Aboriginal people checking up on us.
What, reincarnated?
They're listening to what's been said and what's going on here today. But it's a warning. We get it as a warning to say, you know, that we don't go to Tara Cove. Don't go there.
So this is all about Aboriginal way?
Yep.
Go with it, see what happens. You can't plan, and this is just a perfect example of we can't plan anything. As he said, we can't go up to the mountain, up to the sacred place now, that we're being told not to. That's why the crows are here. They're telling us not to go. I certainly felt serious spirituality going on there. When those crows were around, that was very eerie feeling. It's just like, they don't want us filming here either. No one wants us filming anywhere near their sacred places.
Kiara was fine once given some anti-venom. The miracle trail could continue.
Mate, look at those clouds rolling in. Brilliant. Yeah. I had to bring a blooming Scotsman to Australia, didn't I?
So I'd like to welcome you. Be welcome here, Montgomery land. And I ask for the holy ancestors and the sacred earth to be present and to be supportive. I ask for their love. And I'd like the land to teach us some of that as well. What I find with the smoking, it can help you to settle. You could tell me what you feel. What happens for you?
Lorraine is also from the Koori tribe.
Not too much smoke?
No, it's nice.
And I think the sandalwood.
She said over the years bad spirits could have been preventing me from walking.
Thanks for your sacredness to come forward.
Smoking would clear them out.
And for your healing self. Come forward.
This was a new approach. I was willing to give it a try.
Close your eyes. Don't be shocked about what I'm going to do. It makes Foxy get stirred up straight away too. You can hear my dog outside. He's wondering what's going on.
The banging of sticks certainly woke me up. Lorraine wanted my senses alert for the next stage of healing. A trip into the bush for me to learn more of the Aboriginal way, to understand how the earth is our maker, and how to feel more at one with the land.
For me, it's really grounding.
Yeah.
You feel your feet touching the ground.
So I feel removed from the ground just now. Because I've got the wheelchair between me and the ground.
Yeah.
So to actually have my feet on the ground and...
So, so keep the focus down on your feet and the ground, and in your heart, and feel the wind go around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it enliven your senses.
Be impossible without these wheels on the front. This sort of stuff's normally a complete nightmare for a wheelchair.
Lorraine said once I understood the significance of the land, then my healing could begin. It took me a while to understand what Lorraine was doing and where exactly she was coming from. but my body seemed to be responding to it already.
Each one of those grains of sand can be such a big space. Each little tiny one can be like a world of its own. To go into one of those little grains is like going into the temple. They're really sacred.
Whenever I come to a place that's nature and where there's trees, I always look at the trees, and it always makes me think of that tree that I fell from. I can never look at a tree and just not think, how far was it? If this was the tree, how far was it? And I also look at the branches that come off it and think, no, it's a bit higher than that. It's probably about that one there that I fell from.
Okay, let's go to a straight tree. You choose the tree.
I remember sort of trying to find the biggest tree that we could in this forest. It was with my cousin, and we climbed the biggest tree there was. And a long way up, must have been 50 feet up this tree. My cousin said that she couldn't go up the tree any further, and that we'd have to go back down. And I was a bit worried the branch that I was standing on wasn't very strong. I could hear it creaking. And I said to her, look, we've got to, I'll come up to where you are. And while we were kind of discussing how we were going to get down the tree, the branch I was standing on snapped. And I remember just sort of falling backwards, total feeling of disbelief. I remember the branches smashing through them as I went down. I got a big gash across the side of my face from one of the branches. And I landed in the sort of hedgerow at the bottom, which is the only reason I'm not dead, I think. I felt quite stupid lying in this hedge. I almost remember trying to make out everything was okay and that I was going to get out of the hedge in a minute. But I very quickly realised I couldn't move at all.
Yeah.
And after that, it all became a bit blurry. But it's not. So whenever I see these big trees, I have a kind of love-hate relationship with them. You know, I think they all look gorgeous, and I'd love just to be able to climb up that tree just now and go and sit up on one of those big branches.
Many disabled people would say the fact that I want to walk again shows that I'm badly adjusted. But I'm just being honest about wanting a better quality of life.
So how do you think that the average disabled person is going to look at your quest for healing?
There are lots of groups of people with disabilities. Some of the groups will look at what I'm doing as totally outrageous. They would interpret that I'm saying that what I've got is bad, is a negative thing. And I'd say, well, yeah, you're right. It is. But their take on it would be, if disabled people themselves are not happy with what they are, then how can everyone else who doesn't have a disability ever accept them for what they are? It's a them and us thing. Whereas, you know, I just see myself in the same way that everyone else sees themselves, and anyone else who's got some sort of ailment is going to want to try and do something about it.
I reckon if I were to have an accident and broke my spine and couldn't walk, I'd do everything I could to try and get the use of my legs back.
Absolutely.
Oh look at the goanna. Did you see it? That's the first goanna, yeah? Do you want to go and have another look?
Go on then.
I'm so glad we didn't go out and hunt one of them. It's like he's come out to say goodbye.
I don't really believe that
rubbing the oil from that little critter onto me is going to give me a miracle.
I left Australia and the Goanna with renewed optimism. Our next destination, Brazil, would prove to be extraordinary.
Hey, get out more.
It ain't no joke, I'd like to buy the world a token, teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, and teach the world to snuff the fires and the liars. Hey, I know it's just a
The all-new Ford Fiesta, out now.
This is a love attack, I know when our body's back.
Thank you.
It's not just about the result of every game. It's about the result of every tackle, every nutmeg, every surging run down every wing, the result of every half-time team talk, every handball, dead ball, through ball and hanging ball, the result of every outrageous decision, every outrageous reaction, the result of every goal and every miss. Score. Every one of its 24 pages is crammed with results, every Sunday in the news of the world.
The definitive guide to improving your home and your lifestyle from house to home. Learn the rules and the art of interior design, ultimately improving and adding value to your property.
No, I can't wait. It's too exciting.
In a new series From House to Home, Wednesday at 8:30 on 4.
Brazil, and the last stop on the Miracle Trail. We are heading for Abadiânia and the Casa de Nominacio, 200 k's southwest of Brasilia. I am to see João de Deus, a healer who apparently can cure paralysis. We were to meet our guide Josie at the gates of the casa.
Frequently, as people cross the boundary of the gate, they begin to actually feel a difference in the energy here. And so you might all want to just kind of tune in as we enter the grounds and just see if you feel anything.
Australia had left me on a high. I had a feeling that here, anything was possible.
It does feel quite different in here. There is an energy. I'm sure that's not because Josie's just told us that there is, that you can feel it. The anticipation of what's going to happen here tomorrow in my head is just phenomenal. It's like it's all just waiting to happen.
The casa is built on a quartz rock formation. It is said that this is one of the reasons why it is such an extraordinary place of healing. The next day I joined the crowds heading for the casa. It was going to be a busy day for João, aka John of God. Everyone entering the Casa de Nominacio has to wear white, as colours can create negative energy.
With the operation, no sex for 40 days. On the 8th day from the day of the operation, you will lay down on your sheets and have a glass of water and ask the entity to remove its stitches on the 8th day.
Anybody who's been prescribed operation for this morning, just for the moment, if you could raise your hands. Anybody who's due surgery this morning.
This is João. Was he the man who could cure me? He seemed pretty strange. The talk of operations puzzled me. I had assumed these people were all here to receive some kind of spiritual healing. What actually happened was quite shocking. Perhaps the bizarre fairground music that was piped through the casa was to lighten the atmosphere. Zhao says while he works, he is guided by the hand of God and possessed by spirits who were once great surgeons. It is a spiritual power he calls the entity. Treatment from Zhao is free. People undergo these extraordinary operations without any anaesthetic and say they feel no pain. Watching what was going on here was quite terrifying. Would he do the same to me? It seemed true that none of Zhao's patients were suffering any pain. This woman travelled here from Wales. She has breast cancer. When Zhao carried out the first of her operations, she didn't even flinch.
Pode carregar que está operado.
Later that day, I joined a line of patients waiting to see Zhao. I was singled out. Zhao wanted me to see more of his work before I received any healing.
Nunca mais você usa isso. É aos poucos. Acabou para sempre. Vai trabalhar.
This woman was sent on her way when Zhao told her she would never need her stick again. This man's problems are not physical, but psychological. He was to have one of Zhao's shockingly invasive operations to spiritually cleanse body and mind. Not to be tried at home.
Abra a boca.
Open your mouth.
I was quite rocked by what I was seeing. These people were putting total uncompromised faith in Zhao. It made me very excited that he might be able to help me, but also very nervous. I was unprepared and quite stunned when Zhao grabbed me. But for a second I felt this was it. It was phenomenal.
Vai movimentando. Manda ele movimentar nas pernas.
Start to move your legs. You'll be able to start moving your legs now.
Hoje as tuas armas.
I'm trying to.
Filha Abílio, vem aqui para ver trabalho. Manda ele movimentar as pernas. Se ele fazer, faça ficar em pé. Depende só
I'm trying to move my legs.
Only on you. Try to move your legs. When you start to move your legs, he stands you up. He's your partner.
I'm trying to move.
Yeah, you're starting to get some movement.
Some of it's muscle spasms, but I'm trying to.
He's sending you energy now. It's not only your force. He's sending you energy, the entity.
I tried with all my heart to do what I was told. In the end, Zhao moved on to someone else. But I didn't feel let down. I felt I had come to the right place. What was happening here was incredible. I wanted to understand more. How does all this work? How does the healing work here? What happens?
Eu tinha vontade de saber. Porque eu sou inconsciente. Que eu ficasse sabendo da vida de todas as pessoas.
He said that he would like to know, but that he doesn't know. He is completely unconscious without memory when he is incorporated. He himself, in fact, has never cured or healed anyone, that it's God who heals or cures through him.
Do I need to have a really strong faith in God? Or what do I need to have a strong faith in to be able to walk again?
Eu gosto de quem não acredita. Porque a hora que a pessoa fala que não...
Zhao told me the fact that I had come here means I must believe. And how could anyone not believe in God, our Father?
Como que filho não acredita no teu pai?
Thank you very much.
Só que eu quero que ele venha para o trabalho dele, viu? Se Deus permitir.
If God chooses to heal you, he said, who's going to be responsible for that cure? It's not going to be you, and it's not going to be him. It's going to be God.
I'm calling to heaven and earth for you now, with the strength in your heart. Miracles can come true.
The following day, I went back to Zhao to continue my healing. I was sent to the current room, named so because of its extraordinary energy. I could sense that this was a very intense place, ideal for deep meditation. All part of the healing process.
Okay for you? Yeah. Now close your eyes, thinking God in the way you feel it, and then this is going to work on you, okay?
Once lying down, I was told to meditate. They said I must try harder to move my legs. One of the hardest things about trying to move a paralysed muscle is the lack of sensation makes it feel very remote and disconnected. It's a bit like being asked to try and move someone else's leg, just through the power of mind. I needed to take myself back to the past, back to a time before the accident, and remember how it felt for my legs and feet to respond spontaneously. I must try and connect with those muscles in my mind before trying to move them, and let Zhao do the rest. I found that my body seemed to be possessed by the energy in the room.
I put my hands out and I got the most incredible weight came down on me. I felt this arm was getting really painful. It was out to the side. They were just moving around on their own. I wasn't moving them consciously. And they were kind of going up and down my body like that. This arm was just totally weighed down with this huge weight of energy on it. And it got really quite sore. But I just went with it completely. I was totally spaced out.
What happened to me in the current room was the norm here. I was even more encouraged to know that some people had been cured in this way.
I'd been diagnosed with advanced rectal cancer and been told by the doctor more or less that if I didn't have surgery the following week and then I might die. I knew instinctively that to have surgery was not the correct thing for me. The entity told me that I would be healed. I continued to refuse the surgery, I refused the chemotherapy. In the end, I had a course of radiotherapy. And after my third trip here, after 6 months, the tumour disappeared.
Você mora onde, filho? Não vá usar isto mais.
I was up before Zhao again. I had no idea what he had planned for me. Was he going to tell me just to get up and walk? Or was he going to subject me to an operation?
He has to go 1,000 meters and come back.
I'm getting scared now myself.
Mas eu ponho para andar de muleta.
But he helps you to start going in with fractures.
Yeah.
To start with this.
You can do that here now.
Para andar de muleta demora tempo também. Takes also time. Ele quer ficar só 3 dias. Seria bom para ele ficar mais ou tem que voltar?
Filha, eu tô transmitindo para que eu tô sabendo.
You can stay until Friday, but then you need to come back to continue the treatment. Here it's step by step, it's not magic here. But he promised to you, if you do your work, that you're going to start to be in tragedy. He didn't say when, but you're going to do that with his help. So your girlfriend, the other one is for you.
Okay. Surprisingly, I was disappointed not to be given one of Zhao's operations. But the main thing was, Zhao had told me he would soon have me walking, and I believed him. I was meeting people I felt I could trust, who said they'd been cured over time, and making new friends on similar quests to mine. Everyone said this really could happen.
Yeah, I often have this kind of, not dream, but thought, also dream time sort of things with the Aborigines of Collett, that I'm at a party and I'm standing up and I'm holding a drink, and there's no trace of wheelchairs or anything.
Brilliant.
And a conversation comes up, someone asks me about myself, and I say, yeah, well, I was in a wheelchair for 20 years. And they go, no, I don't believe you. Yeah.
How long have you got under your belt?
19, yeah.
So we've got a year to do it in. Isn't it worth giving yourself a year?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, cut the crap.
I wonder if I'll put the...
1 year, Andrew, 1 year.
Yeah.
You've got to work at it. You've got to pull out all stops and devote yourself totally to your healing.
What had been a 6-week hunt for a miracle had actually turned out to be a search to find the right place for the miracle. What goes on at the casa may look horrifying, but I genuinely think it could work for me. Zhao is not the first healer to tell me he will get me walking again, but he is probably the first one I believe. I'm going to come back here within 6 months, as Zhao instructed, and give myself a real chance to see if his words come true.
Deus, nosso Pai, que tem todo o poder e bondade, dá força àquele que passa pela provação. Louvado seja nosso Senhor Jesus Cristo. Em nome de Deus, os filhos estão liberados.
April 2002, one of my first encounters. April 2002, one of my first encounters with Mark Collett, leader of the Young British National Party. Over the next 6 months, I would get to know him intimately.
Don't film me eating.
In a party notoriously wary of the media, Mark has agreed to let me follow him.
Which ward is this we're going to? This is Eccles Hill ward.
It's a few days before local elections. As one of the party's best and brightest, Mark's busy helping local branches with their campaigns. Today, he's leading a team of canvassers on the Ravenscliffe estate in Bradford.
If anyone says they're not voting to you, though, ask why. If the answer is all political parties are the same and they've let you down, then simply say to them, we're different, and explain the differences that the BNP will give to them and that we actually do care for local people rather than wanting to give all our money to the Asians.
A final year student at Leeds University, Mark's tipped as a future BNP leader. He's educated, telegenic, articulate.
Basically, the British National Party want to put people like you first. They want to put British people on Ravenscliffe estate first. Regenerate the houses, make sure pensioners get the right care they deserve, and turn this area into the proud area it once was.
Will you vote for us on May the 2nd this coming Thursday? You will? Nice one. Thank you very much.
The BNP has ditched the street-fighting tactics of the old far right, turning to conventional politics to promote its message, putting whites first.
Another yes? Think we can rely on your vote on Thursday? Yeah. It's fantastic, thanks a lot.
We are the voice of the white population in areas all over the country, just like this. And as you heard time and time again tonight, people are like, you're the first political party that's come here and spoke to us and cared for us. All the others have gone to the Muslim areas and asked them what they think, but no one comes up here and speaks to us. Is that right? Brilliant. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. who hasn't got the railing.
One of the most positive responses Mark got was from Jeff Grice.
Mad. It is the amount of houses that are around here that are empty, and the amount of people homeless. There's English people that are homeless, living on the streets, and with homes like that, and they're giving £70 million away to people that don't come from this country.
Ridiculous.
That annoys me.
Right.
It does annoy me.
Do you think we'll be able to rely on your vote?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thanks. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks a lot.
See you on May the
Bye.
2nd.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Later, I went back to see Jeff. He's 25, unemployed, and has lived on the estate with his mother all his life.
Why was it you thought the BNP was sort of talking sense to you?
Because why should bloody Pakis get money out sodding time for their bloody kids and we get sod all for ours?
If Pakis or Indians or whatever they want to call themselves, they want some money, they can go down at the social and they'll get money. Because if the social say no, they just shout racial discrimination, and they're quite happy just to sling money at them all day long. It makes you sick just when you just go out in your car and you just see them, they're too sly and they're dirty and devious. They really are. They'll bend stuff to suit themselves.
On election day itself, Mark's campaigning in his own ward, Hare Hills in Leeds.
Vote for the BNP. The British National Party are standing in the local elections. Mark Collett is your local candidate for the Hare Hills ward local elections.
With its ethnically mixed population, Mark knows his chances are limited.
We'll probably beat the Greens and the Tories, I hope, but hopefully the local whites will do the right thing and come and vote Collett. Lie after lie after lie.
Right, we'll see you later.
How hysterical.
So where's you?
Yeah. Just had a text actually saying I look quite cute from someone. Yeah, I've seen on the front page of the paper and you look cute.
At 10 o'clock, Mark arrived at Leeds Town Hall for his count. The party had 68 candidates standing across England. And that night, the BNP took its most significant step toward power ever. Over in Burnley, 3 council seats were won by this party, whose ultimate aim is an all-white Britain.
Declaration of the result of the election for the Hare Hills ward. For Javad Akhtar, Liberal Democrats, 2,184. For Mark Adrian Collett, British National Party, 209.
Mark didn't come close to winning his seat.
We easily beat the Tories.
But he was putting a politician's spin on the result.
I couldn't be happier. For the first time I ever stood, you know what I mean, to come third and beat two established parties into fourth and fifth.
Nazi scum! Off our street! Nazi scum!
There's a lot of you tonight, mate.
Nazi scum! Off our street! Nazi scum!
Outside, I was to see a different side to Mark. Martin, who provides security, wants a quick getaway.
Where's the van? It's on its way, mate.
But Mark's enjoying his moment.
I could do this all night.
Holocaust denier! Jew hater! Holocaust denier! Jew hater! You're a Nazi!
In!
Come on, take him. Come on, get him, mate. Get him.
Your orders are to retreat.
Throughout his election campaign, I'd been getting to know Mark, the young politician. But what I'd seen on the steps of the town hall made me wonder who he really was. A lot of people, I think, would be quite disturbed at being the target of so much hatred.
Why, do you think I enjoy it?
I don't know, there seemed to be, yeah, I think he did enjoy it a bit. But they really hate you, don't they?
Oh, they do. But as you saw, you know, they are quite strange people, you know, so I'm not too really bothered.